Coming in number 10, 50 Cent. When 50 Cent made his surprise appearance at the 2022 Super Bowl halftime show in Los Angeles, the way he was hanging upside down opened him up to a whole new level of mockery. Immediately, the memes started flowing across social media, all fat-shaming 50 Cent. In the performance, he recreated parts of his music video from the 2003 hit Into Club, but he wore a tank top instead of being shirtless like in the original. In response to the outpouring of people saying that 50 looked unrecognizable now, he posted a picture of him and Eminem backstage and captioned it with, "I call this teasing me, they're just teasing me because they know I can drop the weight. That's why I laugh with them. Fat shaming only applies when you're ashamed of your fat." But before we get into our next point, make sure you tap that like button to show some love to the channel. Coming in number 9, Kathleen Turner. In 1992, Kathleen gave up a stellar movie career when she was diagnosed with a form of crippling arthritis and told by one doctor that she may never walk again. When the ravaging effects of rheumatoid arthritis, a chronic inflammatory disorder that affects the joints, and the drugs used to control it caused her to bloat and gain weight, her looks were the last thing on her mind. All she was concerned about was surviving. When making her return to the remake of Dumb and Dumber in 2014, people were worried that she would actually be upset with the script. In one part of the script, Jim and Jeff meet this woman and she says, "I'm Frida." And they say, "No, Frida's hot. Frida's smoking. That's not you." And in response, she said, "Do you know what? I don't look like I did 30 years ago. Get over it." People were very cruel and accused her of being a drunk. At the time, she wasn't, but she admitted that she later found that vodka helped numb the pain. In 2008, she said in her autobiography that she started using alcohol as pain relief because the drugs were messing up her mind, but it soon spiraled out of control. A few years ago, she decided to change her life and admitted that she had entered a destructive circle in which she became entangled. With the help of friends and family, she's now feeling much better. In at number 8, Matt LeBlanc. Recently, Matt was spotted looking unrecognizable as he sported some stubble and baggy sweatpants. The actor who played Joey Tribbiani on the hit show Friends is not often seen out in public, but was caught by the paparazzi at a body shop in Sherman Oaks, California. This rare sighting of Matt LeBlanc also comes after many fans expressed concern for his co-star and friend Matthew Perry, but we'll get to him in a moment though. Matt LeBlanc was widely credited as being the heartthrob of the Friends cast, but now in his older years it seems as though he's not troubled by the level of vanity that his iconic character was held to, letting his hair go gray and rocking a dad bod with no problem. His confidence and humor is truly what made the character of Joey great, and the good thing about that is Matt's confidence and humor is still very much intact. In at number 7, Meg Ryan. Meg Ryan began her acting career in 1981 with minor roles before she joined the cast of the CBS soap opera called As the World Turns the following year. After that, she began to appear in a variety of supporting roles throughout the 1980s in big box office films such as Top Gun and When Harry Met Sally. By 1989, Meg Ryan had gained widespread attention for receiving her first Golden Globe nomination, which established her as an internationally known actor. When it came to romantic comedy flicks, everyone wanted to cast Meg. She was by far one of the most successful actresses in the 90s and early 2000s because of this. That being said, Meg Ryan suddenly disappeared from Hollywood after a single role as a school teacher in a racy R-rated film ended her career. Meg thinks that because people had pigeonholed her as this comedic and lighthearted actress, they were almost appalled watching her act in anything that wasn't that good girl archetype. She was shocked at the vicious reaction she received for being naked in one of the scenes, and thus being in the public eye suddenly made her feel more isolated. In 2015, she turned heads as she attended an event in Paris, marking her first public appearance in 14 months. Many were shocked to see that her nose also looked remarkably different, and she seemed to have a strained appearance around her eyes, resulting in more and more people to remark that she looked unrecognizable now. In at number 6, John Travolta. John Travolta became a household name through his films like Grease and Pulp Fiction, and sported some of the most iconic and cult classic hairstyles. However, in a more recent Instagram post, the actor looked unrecognizable. In an Instagram video and caption, John thanks everyone for wishing him a happy birthday as he awaits his guests for dinner. When people think about John Travolta though, so many people immediately go back to those signature hairstyles, which is probably why it seems so jarring to see him completely bald. He does sort of look like he's about to audition for Professor X or maybe Mr. Clean the movie, although I have to say that it doesn't look all that bad. However, some people still do not know how to feel about it. One user writes, "I can't believe John Travolta is bald now and also 69 next year, but also bald." And at number 5, Heather Locklear. Throughout the 1990s, Heather Locklear was a huge star in Hollywood. She probably couldn't even walk down the street without getting recognized. Unfortunately, the bigger the star, the bigger the supernova. Throughout the last decade and a half, her health has been deteriorating, and due to the medication that she was on, Locklear became pretty unstable. In 2018, she had 2 confrontations with the police that led to her pleading no contest to misdemeanor charges. Police were called to the actor's home, but when they arrived, she actually attacked an officer. As a result, she was taken away for evaluation instead of being given any jail time. The weirdest part about this is that she didn't even need to appear in court for her hearing. Her attorney Bill Haney was sent on her behalf instead. A judge handed her a 120-day jail sentence, but said said that she wouldn't have to serve time if she just completed a 30-day treatment program. Along with that, she also had to follow the terms of a 3-year probation, but never really saw any jail time for attacking that police officer. And number 4, Matthew Perry. Getting back to Matthew Perry though, since that Friends reunion show, Matthew Perry has never looked more unrecognizable. In the past, Matthew has admitted openly that he has struggles with addiction, and fans recently revealed fears that he may be using again. In May of 2021, Matthew sat down with his Friends co-stars for an interview with People magazine. However, fans pointed out that he didn't seem to be responding to the questions in his usual comedic tone. Instead, they suggested that he was slurring his speech and even nodding off at one point. In a YouTube comment, one person writes, "I know we are all sad about Matthew, but let's remember he has suffered a lot of health-related issues and he has struggled with addiction. Let's all be kind and polite and remember all the funny moments he gave us through his role as Chandler. Thank you." And number 3, Angus Jones. Angus Jones is perhaps best known for playing Jake Harper in the CBS sitcom 2.5 Men, for which he won 2 Young Artist Awards and a TV Land Award. The show was the most popular sitcom in the US with an average audience of around 15 million people. By 2010, he was the highest paid child star in television at 17 years old. By 2012, though, Jones had turned 18 and really felt awkward with the new adult storylines that he was doing for the show. As a result of growing up, the writers could no longer give him childish lines and innocent mannerisms that Jake was so well known for. By November of 2012, Angus said that he had been baptized and no longer wanted to appear on the show anymore. He even went as far as saying that the show was filth and thus conflicted with his newfound religious views. And at number 2, Jennifer Grey. After her starring role in the movie Dirty Dancing, Jennifer Grey was completely unaware of how famous she was about to become. The movie didn't perform well at award ceremonies, but it became widely popularized for certain scenes and lines. Jennifer decided to have a bit of cosmetic work done following the success of the film. This, however, turned into the now infamous nose job from hell. Grey told the Mirror, "I went into the operating room a celebrity and came out anonymous." The nose job had altered her appearance just enough that even fans of the film didn't recognize her anymore.
I had my ears pinned back. I had injections in my lips. I had my chin shaved down. I had my breasts redone.
Last but certainly not least, in our number 1 spot, Heidi Montag. Heidi Montag had already established herself as a leading character on the MTV show called The Hills. It was this scripted show about a group of friends, lovers, and enemies in LA, but it was made to appear like a reality show in a sense. Heidi was clearly obsessed with the idea of changing how she looked, and as reported by Radar Online, Heidi said, "I didn't know what an eyebrow lift and a chin reduction was, so once he kind of told me everything that was wrong with me, I felt really insecure, and he gave me a really great deal on it all. He didn't tell me how extensive it was going to be, how severe, how painful, so I had no idea." Then they go on to list the procedures she had done in 2010. In total, Heidi Montag went under the knife for 10 plastic surgery sessions in just one day. When she appeared on the cover of People magazine looking completely different from her previous self, she told them, "I think I look way better and I'm way happier. Nobody ages perfectly, so I plan to keep using surgery to make me as perfect as I can be." And following all the surgery, she definitely did get lots of attention for that, but the question is, at what cost? She does regret changing her body so drastically because of the impact that it's had on her health, as noted in this Entertainment Tonight interview.
I've had numbness in my arm as well from pinched nerves because of everything. So my arm has been going numb on and off for several months now.
As always, I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this, and while you do that, I'm going to check out some of your comments from the video titled "Kanye West leaves Donda 2 party with Kim Kardashian clone." Crystal Q says he knows darn well what he's doing by having a Kim clone. He's not an idiot. It gets everyone talking. Oh, it certainly does. It certainly does. Carissa says the cool thing about the stem player is that you can mix the music yourself, use it for sampling, etc. It's pretty cool if you're in the music industry, a little unnecessary for normal people. Yeah, I would say it's only really necessary for people who are hardcore Kanye West fans or into the music industry, like you said there. I didn't know that portion of it, so that's really cool to know. Zariah Hamilton says, "I don't think she should be impersonating Kim or him being with a lookalike. It makes him look desperate." Yeah, again, like the earlier comment, I think he's just doing it for attention. Not trying to look desperate. Rebecca Mandes says, "Love how you casually threw uncut gems in there, bang on. I'm happy someone noticed. I'm happy someone noticed." Jennifer B says, "If I were Kim, I'd be terrified." I don't know if she should be terrified, maybe just weirded out. Really weirded out. It's just more evidence for custody hearings. But that's all the time that we have for today though, so stay classy, and I'll see you on the next one.